let's talk about something that drives us all crazy: terrible network performance. We're paying for these super fast gigabit speeds, but we still end up with laggy calls and frozen video screens. So, what is going on? Well, let's dive into it. Oh, you know the feeling all too well. You're right in the middle of a super important client call, making a key point, and bam, you're a pixelated mess. The audio starts to sound like a robot. We have all this bandwidth, right? So why on earth is this still a problem? Well, the answer might actually surprise you. The problem isn't how big your internet pipe is. The real issue has nothing to do with raw speed. It's all about making your network smarter. So let's really get into this frustration. For years, the go-to advice was just buy more bandwidth. But honestly, that's like trying to fix a massive traffic jam by just adding more lanes to the highway. It doesn't actually manage the flow of cars. It just creates a bigger, more chaotic parking lot. This is the big myth we've all been sold, that a bigger pipe fixes everything. But it does absolutely nothing to solve the real villains behind a bad video call. Things like latency, jitter, and packet loss. The actual solution is intelligent management, making sure your critical apps get the priority they need to run perfectly, no matter what else is happening. And that brings us to a really fundamental shift in how we need to think about this. Instead of just focusing on the network's raw capacity, we need to start focusing on the quality of the experience for the person actually using it. And that's where this concept called experience intelligence comes into play. So what exactly is experience intelligence? The easiest way to think about it is like the brain of a really smart network. Its entire job 24/7 is to watch what everyone is doing and make split-second decisions to make sure your Zoom call never lags. It's not just directing traffic, it's actively optimizing your experience. Okay, but how does it actually pull this off? It really all comes down to three core ideas, or pillars, that work together to create this seamless, high-performance experience. Let's break down each one. So the first pillar is something called bi-directional quality of service, or QoS. Now this is key. Most systems only care about the traffic you're sending out. But this system manages traffic both coming in and going out, which, as you can imagine, is absolutely essential for a smooth, two-way conversation, like a video call. Think of it like this. It creates a VIP express lane on the data highway. Your really important traffic, like video calls, gets to bypass all the congestion from, say, big file downloads. This also ensures a sense of fairness so that one person in the office streaming 8K cat videos doesn't bring the entire network to its knees for everyone else. And just how big is that VIP lane? Get this. By default, a full 40% of the network's bandwidth is reserved just for that real-time traffic. That's a huge commitment to guaranteeing your calls are always crystal clear. All right, pillar number 2 is adaptive bandwidth allocation. This is where the network stops being a blunt instrument and starts getting really smart, because it can adapt to changing conditions in real time instead of just relying on some rigid, fixed setup. See, in a normal, static system, if one internet connection gets slow or congested, it becomes a bottleneck that slows everybody down. But with an adaptive system, the network instantly sees the problem and boom, intelligently reroutes your traffic to a better, faster path. You probably won't even notice that an issue ever happened. And that brings us to our third and final pillar, intelligent path determination. This is all about making sure every single application takes the absolute best, most efficient route through the network, every single time. So how does it do that? Well, it uses a technology called Deep Packet Inspection, or DPI, to literally look inside the data and recognize, hey, this is a Zoom call, or this is a Microsoft Teams session. It then automatically puts that traffic on the fastest, most stable connection available. And if one of those connections were to fail, it switches to a backup in under 300 milliseconds. That is literally faster than you can blink. Okay, so that's the tech. It's cool stuff. But what does it actually mean in the real world? Let's connect these features to why this should matter to your business. When you boil it all down, you get 4 huge benefits. First, you get voice and video quality that's basically second to none. Second, your network becomes incredibly resilient. And on top of that, it's actually more cost-efficient and way simpler to manage. It's all about optimizing what you already have, not just constantly buying more. And you can see this making a difference everywhere. For a call center, it means perfect voice quality on every single call. For a retail store, it means their payment systems never lag during a transaction. For all of us in hybrid work, it means smooth, uninterrupted meetings. And in a critical field like healthcare, it's the stable, secure connection that things like telemedicine absolutely depend on. What all of this really points to is a major paradigm shift. The old way of thinking, just throw more bandwidth at the problem, is over. The future isn't about having bigger pipes, it's about having smarter pipes. I think this quote really says it all. A well-managed 300 megabit per second connection can actually support thousands of users. This makes smarter connectivity not just better, but way more cost-effective than just buying bigger pipes. So, if there's one thing to take away from all of this, it's this. We have to shift our focus away from just raw bandwidth numbers and start focusing on the quality of the user experience. And to do that, you need intelligence built right into the heart of your network. So, as you think about your own network and all those frustrating moments, just ask yourself this. Is the answer really just more bandwidth? Or is it time for more intelligence? Thanks for joining me.